Hey my friends, how are you? So I'm going to build up a base here, diorama base for the Puma, the Riffield Puma. So we'll build this one here, this MINIART, these diorama series. They're really cool. So that's the base we got there. You see the little bridge brickwork will go there and the building will go there. But the first thing we've got to do when we do these things is the first thing we've got to do is we've got to cut them out of this because it's just pressed. It's just a piece of plastic that's pressed into a mold. So the first thing you do is we've got to scribe this stuff off, and it's an easier thing to do. So you can use a hobby knife, or you can use one of these, just circle things or whatever, and you're just going to score it all around where that is and just break it off. Then once we've done that, you see these little pips? They need to be removed, and we'll just take them off with a hobby knife. So you just carve that off. It won't leave a hole or anything like that. It's like extra plastic or whatever that's sort of melted out or whatnot, but you can take it off, and you can see I've been taking them off here, and you can see one there, but the ones I've taken off you can't see any gaps or anything like that. And once that's done, then we can start to actually pull it apart. But once you pull it apart, you see this bottom part here, that's got to be sanded off. So the best way to do that is to make like a sanding table. So get some sanding pieces of sanding paper and just glue them to a table or something, and then just get the whole part and sand it out until that's gone. But if you don't do it, there shouldn't be a problem with this base here, but you see with these parts here, if you don't sand that bottom part off, it actually won't stick together properly. So you just got to get that, what is it? It's not even a mil or two, 2 mil, sanded 2 mil off. And yeah, you just need to get a whole big sanding table and just do it all at once, get that down. So we'll get cracking on that, and I'll show you how I put it together. So first of all, get rid of the pips. And then I think we'll fill this up here. So we'll get this filled up with some builder's bog. I've got some hardener and I've got some bog, so I'll just fill that up. Get rid of the pips, and then we can start putting it together for our Riffield Puma. It'll be really cool. All right, let's have a look. All right, so we've got some of these together. Just starting to really work it. I've covered it in Tamir's putty, which is really good, that stuff. You can see with this little bridge here, you can really get rid of the gaps well. Just got to work it hard. Oh, sorry. Knocked the camera. But I'll show you, we'll work this one out. So we'll get it out. We'll use one of these. These are really, really good, these things, for this kind of task. Really tough little tip there, because with these ones, doing the hard work, really putting in the hard work, you often break your delicate little tips there, which is annoying. But this is really easy. So it's just basically you go along the line you want to do, and you just run it down like so. And if you run it like, I think if you give it 3 hard good runs, and it will actually break through. But you don't need to do that, you just need to do it enough. And if you just go that way, it just starts to break, as you can see. So we'll get that all out. You've got to do this angled one down here. And then you don't need to worry too much about these brick ones being too rough, because what you'll do is you'll actually clean it up with the sanding process, because you've got to take a lot off with sanding. You can start to break it out. Really that easy. That's how easy it is to break these things out. And up with the angle. That should meet there. And there you go, there's your little thing out. But then we've got to get, so I've got this sanding table here. You just make this big table with some plywood, and then you just chuck that on, and it makes a really horrible loud sound, as you can probably see. So you just sand that, and what you're going to be doing is getting that horrible little layer there off. You can really see it with the brickwork there. And that's what you're going to do. So we'll get that together, and then once that's done, you've got both sides out, then you just glue them together. I like to match up this brickwork here on their sides there, and then just, you know, glue it together, and then you can start getting your hobby knife, not that thing, your hobby knife out, and just start to really clean up, get the brickwork nice, get your pips off, of course, those horrible little pips. This thing's covered in them, you know what I mean? Oh, it's easier to see without the brickwork. Those things. Get rid of all those. And I'll show you how it all comes together. But it should come together really well. Alright, so it's nearly finished now. I've got the actual spout on, the broken spout, and the roof, and the little wooden part there. They're really easy just to cut out and glue on. But your best friend here is your Tamiya putty. And I'm just going to absolutely completely cover it in that stuff to resurface it and give it a really nice surface. You know, covering all the gaps and all that kind of stuff. But you can see there that looks a bit dodgy there. So I'm going to fill up this roof bit here with some milliput. So just some of this milliput. And I'll just, you know, fill up all that so the roof doesn't look like that's dodgy. But it looks really good. So I did the window, got that out of the pack, of course. And so I just glued some, just clear plastic on the black back. And then I used some ice sprinkles mixed with just some PVA glue, some normal PVA, and just put that on the windows, and it sort of, I don't know, gives it a broken look, I suppose. And on the back, I just redid and made it my own little window things there with some old photo etch stuff I've got lying around. And that should look a bit better. And then we've got this. This will go on here like that. And it'll just sort of line up nicely. We'll have a little bit of a stream there. And this fits on good, so this goes on this part here. Like so. It's going to come up really good. But that's how you build them. They're not the easiest thing to build, but they are very fun to build. So we've got a few more things to do, a few more details. So you see here, these gaps here, if you're just going to keep that raw, I just use some of the offcuts, you know, that you get from cutting this stuff up, and you can just glue it on there and glue that on. I've done it here with this part here. You see there, it just seals that up. It makes it stronger as well. Alright, I hope you liked that video, and we will also paint this thing. It's going to be for the Puma, so I'll grab the Puma. It's going to fit on there like that. We'll have the little bridge. It'll look cool. It'll look really good when finished. Alright, I'll speak to you again very soon.